Hey everybody, hey, how are y'all doing? Hello and welcome to Mom Conversations. I am Tanisha Carroll. I am your host, your sister, your bestie, your mom figure. It's funny because everyone in my life says, "You're a mother, you are like the mother of the group," and I have that always been that way. So, anyways, um, here at Mom Conversations, we are holding discussions about all things mom, and your relationships with your children, specifically mothers and daughters. And there are many, many aspects of mothering that we are going to dive into, and hopefully you're going to come along for the ride. So it's going to be a good time. I'm going to do a lot of talking, but I'm also going to invite some people, some friends, some people that I know, some people that I want to know into a conversation about mothering, about what does that look like? What does it look like to mother? And does it mean that you have given birth? Not always. And how sometimes we are mothering and we don't even realize it, and just how valuable and important the mother is in our culture and our society. And so, welcome. This is Mom Conversations. So, welcome. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I haven't talked to you in a while. It's been a minute. What's up? What is going on? Listen, I really had to take a moment and just breathe, reevaluate. I don't know. Have you ever gotten the sense that you needed to do something different? You needed to do something new. You needed to do something that maybe you have not done before, and you just dive in, you just start, you just go. And then you get in it and you're like, I don't know if I really know how to do this. I don't know if I'm really equipped to do this. I don't even know if I have the tools to do this. And if you are like me, that can make you pause. That can make you stop. You feel like you're going ahead. Forget about the fact that life is still going on around you. But, this thing that you're doing, such as here on YouTube, podcasting, talking to the internet, you're like, oh, yeah, this is something that I think I should be doing. And even you feel like the Lord is opening a door for you. And then you get moving, and every which way you turn, there's some sort of wall, there's a block, there is a hindrance. And you're like, okay, I was pretty clear on this. And the resistance is making me reevaluate whether this is what I really need to do. So that's been me the past couple of months where I'm like, no, is this really what I need to be doing? And I definitely think that it is. And it is causing me to ask questions about, what's the best way for me to accomplish it? How can I really get it done in a way that I want it to be done? And, one of the things that I have learned is that sometimes you just got to go. Sometimes, even though it isn't quite looking the way you thought it was going to look, it's not perfected the way that you want it to be, but it is still obedience. It is still following through. It is still accomplishing the task. It's not perfect, but it is starting. And starting is enough. I think in our current culture, there is such a perfectionist vibe, but it's not because things are perfect. It's because we have editing software. We can turn the cameras on and off, and we can put a whole bunch of different videos, which may have been from 4 different days, put it together and make it seem like it's one concentric circle when it's not. Like it's one continuous event when it's really not. And so it looks perfect when really it is a hodgepodge of mess. And here's the thing about messes. Messes can be cleaned up. You need a little soap and water. You might not even need the soap. You might just need the water to wash it right away. And I definitely am still in that phase of washing some things away because it didn't quite look the way I wanted it to. And it still doesn't. But little by little, slow and steady wins the race. And it's still important to allow your voice to be heard. It's not going to sound, it doesn't have to sound like everyone else's voice. And so, even as mothers, when I think about mothering, and I think mothering is one of the places where comparison is made in such a huge way. I mean, first of all, women come into the earth with being compared. We as little girls, oh, look at her, she's pretty, and she's thin, and she's tall, and it's like, okay, I've never been the one who was called the prettiest, not because I'm not pretty, don't get it twisted. Mm. But I've never been the one who's called the prettiest. I've never been thin in my lifetime. I've never been the tallest, probably except for in elementary school when everyone else hadn't reached their growth spurt yet. Then I hit mine while everyone else was still growing and I didn't grow anymore. So I'm not short, but I'm also not tall. And so I believe that we come as women, as young ladies, we come into this world being compared from jump. And then we live in this society that pits us against one another, as if a woman with short hair, a woman with long hair is better than a woman with short hair. Not so. Because the truth be told, you might not have even recognized me today because the last video I was in, I had braids, right? And they were down here. What? Hello. And as women, we are often pitted against one another. And then we're often told what the standard is instead of being allowed to find our own standard, our own beauty standard, our own standard of mothering, our own standard of womanhood. Agreed, there are some things that are um, acceptable versus unacceptable. Because as a mom, of course, you shouldn't be physically, mentally abusing your children. But that doesn't mean that you don't have rules, you don't have boundaries, you don't have expectations. All of those things are needed. But my expectations and your expectations may be different. Guaranteed they are. Does it make them wrong? No. Does it make my expectations better than yours? No. Does it mean that my children are going to be any better than anyone else's? Not at all. What we have to learn as mothers is that we give our children what we have. Hopefully, as we learn and grow as adults, we begin to reframe and reshape even what we're teaching them. Whereas 10 years ago, I had a concept of what I wanted my children to do and be like. But today, I've made adjustment to that because I have adjusted. And the things that were most important then, I'm allowed to say, that's important to me. I don't know if that's important to you, but here are some things I think should be most important to you. And you can figure that out the best way you can. But once you become an adult, all bets are off. Now I'm a guide to you. I am not your instructor anymore. And as moms, we have to give ourselves some grace, some love, when life is happening and we feel like, oh, this isn't quite turning out the way I wanted it to. This isn't how I saw my kids. This isn't how I saw myself as a mom. What am I supposed to do? Listen, grab hold and hang on. Grab hold and hang on. It's not perfect. It's not all spelled out, but it's doable. You're still alive, so you still have the ability to impact your children, impact your children's friends, to love them, to encourage all of them. Recently, my son finished his first year of college. And so one of his best friends, we were talking about grades. And I asked him, I said, hey, so how were your grades looking this year? And he shared when he was like, well, it didn't really turn out the best. I got a D here, I got a C here. And I said, that's unacceptable. I told him it was unacceptable. Now, he's not my child, but I still mothered him in that moment because you are an intelligent being. You're smart and you have access to tools. You're in college, which means you have access. There are too many opportunities. You're not just in college, but you're in an engineering department. Hello. You don't just get in that. It takes some intelligence, some ingenuity, some creativity. So I know that you're smarter. And so I said to him, I said, well, this is going to be the last year that happens. Going into this new year, you're going to have to buckle down and get it done because you're better than that. I didn't wait for his parents to tell him he was better than that. I told him because I'm not just mothering my own children. I'm mothering any children that come into my house, that come into my space, because they deserve to know that this community has expectations of you, not just your family, this community. And so as moms, we are doing things that are beyond just our children. And it's not perfect, but we got to support one another. We got to help each other. And we got to tell one another, hey, hang in there. You got this. And we got to tell one another's children, hey, you're messing up. Get right. Get it together. But also, you're great. You're amazing. Get it together. And so, years ago, I was at an event and I heard someone say, the rest is revealed in the go. And so I just want to share that with you today. Sometimes you start something, you're thinking that you have momentum, but it just teaches you maybe what you're missing. It teaches you what you don't have, but it also teaches you that you can do things that don't always make sense. And so I just want to tell you that I'm out here doing the best that I can. Most days. Some days I'm not doing the best I can, and that's just the truth. Some days I'm barely making it, but I get back up the next day and I give it a try again. And I want you to do the same, Mom. I want you to try again. So what I want to know is, one of the things we do here is we talk about taking our own temperature. What's your temperature today? What's your temperature? Are you feeling good about yourself, positive, or are you feeling down? Either way, you can put it in the comments and let me know. What's your temperature? How you doing? Today, I feel good. I've had some good conversations with positive people the last few days, and it's helped me to show up here today. So thank you. Thank you. And thank you for being here. So I'm not perfect. I don't feel like I have it all together. And I don't even feel like I know fully what my next steps are. But I'm going to walk anyway. I'm going to take the steps even though I'm not fully sure what it's going to look like. And so come back here to I'm on assignment, and come back here to Mom Conversations, because we're going to keep having conversations, getting to know one another, helping to build ourselves, and helping to build this community of moms to be who we need to be, not only for ourselves, not only for our children, but for our community and for this world, because this world is filled with a whole lot of craziness right now. And if we do not help and teach our young people, even our young adults, how to show up despite what we see, is not going to be good. All right. So thank you again for showing up here. Thanks for watching. I'm Tanisha Carroll. This is Mom Conversations, and I'll see you again soon.